Welcome to my channel, where your adventure into the future starts right now. Step into a vibrant universe filled with groundbreaking technology, breathtaking alien landscapes, and exhilarating sci-fi narratives that challenge your imagination. From daring explorations of distant galaxies to haunting journeys through dystopian societies, we uncover the most captivating stories and innovative ideas that will shape the world of tomorrow. Subscribe today and join us on an incredible intergalactic voyage that promises to inspire and thrill. The seeds of transformation sown by humanity's own struggle with environmental destruction began to take root in far-flung corners of the galaxy. As the Syrexians, Felixians, Zorians, Azen, and countless other species studied Earth's history, they came to realize something profound. Earth had been on the brink of ecological collapse, and yet, through sheer ingenuity, empathy, and a deep connection to the planet's natural rhythms, it had found a path back. The key to this recovery was not in technology alone, but in the integration of respect, reverence, and understanding for the ecosystems that had once seemed so expendable. Humanity's tale of resilience was far from simple. There had been mistakes, grave errors of judgment that nearly led to irreversible damage. For centuries, Earth's ecosystems had been exploited in the name of progress: forests razed for timber, oceans polluted for industrial gain, and wildlife driven to extinction in the relentless pursuit of growth. The human race had extracted resources without truly understanding the complex web of life that sustained them, taking more than they gave back. But it was during this very period of loss that humanity found its most important lesson, that true progress did not lie in domination of nature, but in symbiosis with it. The Syrexians, whose history had been marked by the extinction of their own natural resources, were the first to grasp the enormity of this lesson. As Earth scientists and environmentalists shared their expertise, they discovered a deep resonance within the Syrexian culture. Though they had grown accustomed to shaping nature to their will, they too had witnessed the gradual erosion of their planet's vitality. For centuries, they had used their advanced genetic engineering techniques to manipulate the DNA of their crops, forests, and creatures, creating life forms that suited their needs. But this strategy had come with a toll. The ecosystems, though engineered to be efficient and productive, lacked the spontaneous diversity that true nature thrived upon. Over the years, the genetically modified worlds began to show signs of decay. Plant species failed to evolve as naturally selected varieties would have. The soil became sterile, the oceans barren, and the air thin. The first diplomatic envoy from the Syrexians arrived on Earth, bringing with them representatives from across their empire. They sought guidance not just from Earth's scientific community, but from its philosophers, ecologists, and environmental activists. Earth's ability to rehabilitate its ecosystems became a subject of intense fascination. At the time, the idea that Earth's wisdom could extend beyond its own homeworld seemed almost unbelievable. But the Syrexians were desperate, and they were willing to learn. Upon their arrival, the Syrexian leaders were struck by the human connection to nature, which seemed to permeate every aspect of Earth's culture. It was not just the scientists or the activists who cared about the planet's well-being. It was the everyday people who, despite all the challenges they faced, had worked tirelessly to restore forests, clean up polluted rivers, and protect endangered species. There was an underlying philosophy, a belief that nature was not a commodity, but a partner, deserving of care, protection, and respect. The Syrexians, in their awe, began to see that humanity's greatest strength was not simply technological innovation, but the depth of its emotional connection to the Earth. The discussions between humans and Syrexians were not easy. The Syrexians, having built their civilization on a foundation of technological supremacy, found it difficult to reconcile their engineered solutions with Earth's more organic, nature-driven processes. For a species that had grown used to manipulating life forms with precision, the idea of allowing nature to evolve on its own terms felt risky. Yet, the humans insisted the restoration of Earth's ecosystems had not come through control but through patience, understanding, and, above all, humility. Earth's path had been one of acknowledging its mistakes, allowing damaged systems to heal, and working with nature to restore balance, not trying to impose one's will upon it. As months turned into years, the Syrixians began to make the changes necessary to embrace Earth's philosophy. They began reintroducing species that had been lost over millennia, planting trees in ecosystems that had once been barren, and creating biodomes that simulated natural environments. Their once technologically dominated worlds slowly began to transform as a balance of engineered systems and natural growth took root. Though it was a difficult process, they began to witness the miracles that could unfold when nature was given space to regenerate. Forests of native trees began to spread across their plains. Waters that had been toxic began to regain clarity. The sky, once choked with pollution, began to show signs of clearing. At the same time, the Syrixians helped the humans in ways they hadn't anticipated. The Syrixians, with their mastery over advanced bioengineering, helped humanity discover new ways of repairing their own ecosystems. They used their technology to enhance the resilience of Earth's environments, creating more efficient methods of soil regeneration, helping coral reefs recover faster, and developing plant species capable of absorbing higher levels of pollutants. The collaboration between the two species grew stronger as they exchanged knowledge and techniques, learning that combining their respective strengths, humanity's deep connection to the Earth and the Syrixians' advanced scientific prowess, was the key to planetary restoration. Word of the Syrixians' success spread across the galaxy, and soon, more alien civilizations, each with their own environmental struggles, sought Earth's guidance. The Felixians, whose homeworld had suffered years of deforestation due to overpopulation, turned to Earth for help. Their advanced cities were surrounded by barren landscapes, the result of their overzealous expansion. They had always relied on artificial landscapes, where every plant and animal was carefully designed to meet their needs. But the Felixians had come to realize that they could no longer sustain this artificial harmony. The planet's air quality had dropped to dangerous levels, and their engineered forests could not replicate the biodiversity that had once flourished in the wilds. When the Felixians arrived on Earth, they marveled at the diversity of Earth's ecosystems. The lush rainforests of the Amazon, the Great Plains of Africa, the vast coral reefs of the Pacific, all of these had once been in danger of vanishing, and yet humans had fought to protect them. Through cooperation, the Felixians began to understand how they could foster a sense of stewardship for their homeworld's ecosystems. They implemented strategies to reintroduce native species to their forests, creating corridors of natural vegetation that would allow wildlife to roam freely once more. They began to plant trees that were not genetically modified but were simply native to their planet, allowing them to grow in harmony with the surrounding environment. The Felixians had always thought they were the pinnacle of civilization, but now they saw that there was much they could learn from humanity's example. As the years passed, the restoration efforts gained momentum. The Zorians, a race of beings from a gas giant whose civilization was based in floating cities, began to use Earth's methods of creating vertical farms and establishing renewable energy sources. They had once been obsessed with developing technologies that could sustain their floating habitats without concern for the damage done to their planetary systems below. But as they observed Earth's work to preserve its oceans and air, they realized they too could adopt practices that would ensure their civilization did not become disconnected from the ecosystems of their homeworld. The Azen, a species that had evolved to live in the voids of space rather than on planets, were perhaps the most reluctant to engage with Earth's principles of ecological restoration. Their cities had no natural environments, and they had long abandoned their planet in favor of interstellar living. But over time, even the Azen saw the value in sustaining and preserving their ancestral worlds, recognizing that the systems they had developed could not be replicated in the vastness of space forever. They began to cultivate biodomes that mimicked Earth's environments, learning to create sustainable, biodiverse ecosystems within their artificial habitats. They studied how Earth's ecosystems work together to regulate the environment, from the smallest microorganisms to the tallest trees, and slowly began to integrate these natural processes into their technology. It was not only the advanced species who took notice. The galaxy's less developed civilizations, once on the verge of collapse due to environmental mismanagement, were also inspired by Earth's example. The low-tech civilizations who had lived in harmony with nature for centuries saw humanity's progress as a validation of their own values. They, too, began to share their practices with more advanced species, emphasizing the importance of living simply and in balance with the natural world. In this way, Earth's influence had far-reaching consequences. It wasn't just the technologically advanced civilizations that had adopted Earth's methods, it was a global movement of ideas, philosophies, and practices that spanned the breadth of the galaxy. Through this collaborative effort, the once barren and lifeless planets that dotted the galaxy slowly began to bloom once more. Forests took root, oceans cleared, and ecosystems flourished. The galaxy, which had once seemed disconnected and fragmented, was now united in its efforts to restore life. Earth, a planet once on the verge of destruction, had not only healed itself, but had become the guiding force behind the restoration of countless worlds. As humanity looked to the stars, it saw not just the infinite vastness of space, but a future filled with hope. The ecosystems of the galaxy, once teetering on the edge of collapse, had been revived. And humanity had inspired that change not through conquest, but through the simple power of their love for the Earth.